Hi there, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Before I start here with your new moon reading, I want to say thank you so very much for all of your comments, all of your love, and all of your light. It's beyond touching. I wake up oftentimes with tears, so thank you so much for it all. So, this new moon is significant, right? In and of itself, the new moon represents a time for deep, deep introspection, right? Entering that space of absolute stillness and honesty with ourselves, right? With our soul self. It's that reflective space, right? It's almost like this, and I have this vision whenever, I think about the period of the new moon and what it means. It's kind of like walking through a dimly lit cave, right? And there's just a faint glow of light that enters it, right? And there's water, right, sitting about at the floor of this cave. And it's night, so you know that you must enter the cave for shelter. Right? Naturally, by way of the cycle of the day and the night, you must enter this more reclusive space. So you step into this cave, right? And yes, right, it's interesting because it's a space that houses us, right? That provides a sense of shelter in a way, right? But also one that is dark, that is compelling, that is provocative, right? That is maybe not easy to step into. And so it's this dichotomy that is so powerful during this time, right? Of entering that space in the back of our minds, in our subconscious, in our psyche, really, right? Of this cave, so to speak. And so when you enter this dark space, right? You look down beneath you and you see water, right? You see water, not clearly though, not clearly. You only see it by way of the faint glimmer of light that shines through the dwelling. And so you kneel down, and the only thing you see, right, in that moment and in that space is the reflection, right, of yourself, but in such a way that is almost like shadowed, right? Your shadow self. And so it's in this space and in this time that we are beckoned, right? Even drawn to, as difficult as it may be, to that space of honesty, of stillness, of reflection. So I wanted to open it with that. That was rather channeled. It just flowed to me, but it feels so real to what this period of time really is conducive for. Right? So the new moon, having understood that sort of perception of it, is a beautiful time to release, right? To sift through the energetic archives of our being, right? the energy that either we hold on to or that holds us in some shape or form by way of the past in some way, right? Or even the present, or even the future, right? Whatever fear we hold, whatever apprehension we have along our journey in time and space, which of course is an illusion, right? So it's about sifting through, right? Digging really deep. It's a very Plutonic energy, very true, right? It's yes, entering the shadow space, but to obliterate it, but to confound it, right? Like the Tower card, right? In tandem with the Death card, right? The new moon is a time for removing any hindrances, any blockages that may stand in our path to ascension, to reaching our absolute potential, our highest light and vibration, which we all have, right? Just waiting to shine. So, it's not an easy time, right? Not in the least bit. It can be difficult coming to terms, right, with what we've experienced and the shifting of perception in such a way that allows us to view what we've experienced in a way that is removed, detached, right, from our soul journey. Viewing it as a human experience not meant to hinder us or our growth, but to propel us forward, right? To show us where our difficulties lie, in whatever realm of life, right? Where our weaknesses are, so that we can become aware of them, right? It's really a gift. It's such a gift when we shift our perception, right? Of what we encounter, who we encounter, right? What they illuminate for us within ourselves. So that really is the new moon space, right? That we enter around this time. Introspection, release, but simultaneously, right, as sort of you release what does not serve you, right? And you recognize, right? It's like taking a flashlight into the deepest part of your psyche, and putting a name, almost putting a face to the name, right? Of what energetic blockages may subsist, right? Even subconsciously, that we don't realize on, let's say, a daily, very conscious level, right? Basis even. So absolutely take this time to, on the one hand, right? Take that flashlight out. Enter the cave, right? Face the water and your reflection. What do you see, right? What do you see? What is holding you back in any way? Come to terms with that. Accept it. Make peace with it and release it. If you feel and you find that it does not align with the other side to this new moon period, which is the alignment, right, with what we do want to plant the seed towards as manifestation for this next cycle. So, and it's kind of like this. It's kind of like a detox, right? And I love, life is full of patterns, right? And it's just a matter of seeing it in this way, of seeing where the synchronicities lie, even within the law of nature itself. So it's kind of like this, right? When you detoxify your body, right, and you go through a physical detox. Let's say, right, you You want to reestablish the flora in your gut, right? Your microbiome. Well, what do you have to do? You have to clear out the bad bacteria, and you have to supplement with the good bacteria. It's not enough, right, to just kill off what does not help our body thrive and nourish. You have to simultaneously, right, supplement with what does. So it's a matter of releasing what does not align with us spiritually and otherwise, and even physically. The new moon is a beautiful time to engage in any kind of detox of any sort, right? The moon's energies are very conducive towards that. But always, right? This is not to substitute medical advice, right? Professional medical advice. So do consult your physician. Okay, I'm obligated to say that, right? But nonetheless, it's a beautiful time, right? The moon's energies are very, very conducive for release. Okay, absolutely, of many kinds. So releasing what does not serve us, and simultaneously allowing to enter in and replace it within our psyche, right, are the seeds of our intentions, are the seeds of what we want to see come to life, right? Come to life. So it's the de-weeding of our garden, so to speak, that very sacred space, making it one that is ultimately fertile, right? Fertile for the planting of our soul truth and our soul dreams and our soul aspirations as time moves forward. So I hope this new moon period is a time of self-empowerment, of truth for you all in some shape or form. I absolutely believe it will be. I know it is absolutely for myself. So thank you so much for tuning into this segment here, and I'm going to proceed with your readings. Hi there, Taurus. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're all ready to go. Just charging out the gate there. These want to come out, these want to come out, and these want to come out. Lots going on for you. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. Taurus. Right up and out. You got strength. Major arcana. Beautiful. Beautiful. Lovely. Lovely. Taurus. Beneath strength, you pulled the Six of Wands in reverse. There is a transformation that is underway that requires you to have faith in the process, absolutely, for one, but also understanding that the process in and of itself requires, right, the time that it does, if that makes sense. When we look at this card, and in particular, this theme of the butterfly, it speaks to transformation, right? It speaks to the chrysalis. It speaks to the butterfly's sort of ascent from a stage of being held in a cocoon, right? And so, naturally, though, the butterfly must undergo the stages that it does from a caterpillar to being in the cocoon, right? And then released into the world. That process, much like a birth, requires a certain adherence to time, right? So I'm sensing that you know that that a transformation, right, is going to take place. You have the foresight of it. But you need to maintain strength, physical stamina. I'm feeling physical stamina is big for you, Taurus, okay? Big for you during this period of time. Maintain your alliance with your intuition about whatever this transformation and change is, right? I'm getting that. You needing to focus, laser focus on remembering why maybe you're making this change, why you're engaging in this turnaround of some sort. I'm feeling it's a big turnaround, it's a big shift, even in terms of your habit patterns, your daily life, right? How you do things. It seems that everything in that scope, within that scope, is going to change once this transformation takes place. But the period of time that it takes until you get to that final stage, right, of the ascent and the release of this butterfly into the world is one that requires you to maintain focus on your objective. Absolutely. And if this transformation has not yet occurred, right, which I'm feeling it has not, you have to I'm feeling a need to remember, right? Remember that this is a process, and it takes time, and it inevitably, right? It's not overnight. I'm not feeling this is an overnight thing. This is something like the long haul sort of feeling. Okay. So it's sort of like this, right? I'm feeling this is the outer energy, right? Of your of almost like a mask, we'll call it, right? And then this is what's going on inside. So the need to uphold resilience and strength, even though, right, although inside you feel this desire to just do it, right, to get it done, to transform, to change, to make the turnaround happen, right? Yes, Taurus. Yes, Taurus. Absolutely. There's a theme here. There's a theme here of wanting to release something, right? From entanglement, we find then freedom in some shape or form, newfound identity, even one of greater independence, right? But there's a big emphasis on you and your capacity to endure, right? The process of this change that is necessary, right? Maintaining faith and hopefulness that it will come. Right. And the strength card is mirroring off to the right hand side up in the corner this chariot in reverse, which popped out kind of on its own, right? So I'm going to leave it at that, alone off in the corner. Another card, right? Speaking to resilience, independence, adherence to your personal principles, very personal principles. There's this moon, right? This moon figure on the forehead, third eye chakra area of this horse. Right? Speaking to the propeller, right? The impetus that inspires this horse to charge forward on its own. Right? You feel the wind on this card. You feel the wind on this card. You feel the wind also here on this Six of Wands. Right? There's a respiration to both of these cards. There's a feeling of being out in the open, right? Out in the open, where previously we were entangled or entrapped in some shape or form, right? We now find newfound clarity, I'm feeling breathing room. That's what I'm feeling, Taurus, breathing room, right? Where there's repressed energy, perhaps prior to this transformation, the process of it, right? It's like this, what I'm feeling, this is like the new moon sort of predicament, even of being, right, underground. The new moon representing a time that's spent underground in the darkness, right, planting the seed of our intention, and also releasing, right, as we mentioned at the beginning of this video, releasing what does not serve us, right, going through the energetic archives, right, discarding, making peace with what does not serve us any longer so that we can make room for what does, for what we want to plant, right, in our garden. So, these two cards, right, this card in reverse speaks to the new moon period, right, needing to go through this, right, before the butterfly can rise. It needs to go through all of these wands, right? It needs to maneuver its way through it, to clear house, to clear the path and the way. So that's what I'm feeling you're doing, Taurus. I'm feeling that you are you're like pulling branches aside. You're like, you're preparing, you're making headway for this transformation. And this can be metaphorical, right? Of course, right? Metaphorical or literal, perhaps even, right? If you're thinking of, if this is like a move or a change of residence or location, right? It's sort of like, well, what am I going to bring with me to this new house, this new home, right? You have to go through everything before that can happen. So, Taurus, again, where this speaks to the new moon, right? In time of introspection, release, and recollection in a way as well. Or assimilation, rather, actually, right? These two cards speak to when the light begins to approach us and ascend as we near the new moon, right? The peak of light, where the moon shines so brightly, right? Much like the sun. So there's a contrast between light and dark, right? Foreshadowing and feeling, right? Having the vision, absolutely the vision for the day that will come, the transformation that will happen. And release. Full circle. I'm feeling full circle, something coming full circle, right? But it's like, in order to, right, imagine that there's like a big wheel, right? And in order, like, let's say it has a handle on it, in order to turn the wheel, right, completely, we have to pull this lever with great momentum, right, and push it up until it reaches a certain point at which it can then go on its own, right? So there's a feeling of almost like of momentum, right? Of needing to build and sustain and maintain that momentum as you approach this transformative final moment, right? It's almost like a burst. And it's going to be like this. It's going to be like clear. It's going to be like, this was the old way, this is the new way, right? That's what I'm really feeling. Light, dark, right? Morning, night. So, I see this card as the foreshadowing and the maintenance of vision of the upturning of this card, right? And the Chariot also speaking to, in alliance with strength, this new beginning that's coming for you, right? Of being free in the day, right? Feeling also stable. There's a pentacle hanging from the neck of this horse. Feeling stable, even as we embark on a path that may be unknown to some degree, but nonetheless, inherently is driven by our intuition, by our soul's yearning, right? So there's stability within movement, within motion, and that is the sort of dichotomy that we see, right? Present on this Chariot card is the fusion between independence, right, and stability, and feeling, right, as though those two halves come together into one, the alignment of ourself, the alignment that we have as we move forward on our path and journey. I feel that that's what's happening for you, Taurus. You are transforming in such a way that is bringing together the harmony of whatever operation this is, of whatever this is. It's going to speak to a greater sense of completion and wholeness in and of yourself, right? Moving forward, not in a way of, oh, I know that I'm going to be transforming. I'm going to be transforming, right? I have to have strength, right? Vision of this future tense, right? This future stage or state. Chariot speaks to, I've stepped onto this path, right? I'm living it. I'm embodying it. I feel stable as I move forward, right? Lovely. Lovely. That speaks to security, stability, in and of yourself. So that is coming, I'm feeling, okay? And I feel that it will be coming forward as this energy, right, transforms. So, there's a major transformation underway, Taurus. You also pulled the Six of Swords in reverse as your theme, overlaying the Lovers. Okay. But let's get to the rest of the cards here before we get to that. So much transformation, so much transformative energy, Taurus. Eight of Swords in reverse. Lovely, lovely. Breath of fresh air, right? There's so much respiration to a lot of these cards, contrasted by, right, previous entanglement. I'm feeling entanglement, right? Difficulty, maybe confusion, right, with path and means by which we can find our way forward. So, let me turn this on 1 second. Okay. Taurus. One second. Let me check. This is fascinating. So many signs have been getting the Mother of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Father of Wands in their spread. Three is a number that is appearing quite prominently in the spreads that I've been doing for the new moon period. So 3 speaks to stability, or the lack of it, perhaps, right, depending on the spread. However, I'm sensing with you, right, that I feel that you want to get to a certain point with some transformative project or something, right? Something that is awaiting transformation in a big way. You're waiting, right? You're waiting to get to the point where it's like pushing a barrel up a hill, right? You're waiting to get to the point where you no longer have to push, and the barrel sits, and it's stable, it's fixed, right? And you can take a breath, right, at the top of that hill or mountain, and alas, enjoy the view there. That's what I'm feeling, and it's this foresight, right, of vision of it, right? I know I just have to climb this mountain a little harder, right, a little longer, so that I will reach the top. That I am being driven by my intuition to reach, right, guided by my spirit, my soul, right, to succeed, to live. And so there's a desire to reach stability. That's what I'm absolutely feeling with you. And I feel, wow, all right. Okay. You have the Son of Cups at the base of this fan of cards that popped out, underlaying the Three of Wands. So, what I'm feeling for you, Taurus, is that this transformation is speaking to a beginning that may involve someone, right, of the archetype of the Son of Cups, someone who's rather sensitive, right, someone who is creative, right, someone who it's kind of like the shy artist card. There's a very compassionate energy with this card, and I'm sensing that it's this speaks to a portal-like energy, right? Stepping into this unknown sort of new world, right? Which I feel, again, speaks to this transformation that's underway. And I'm sensing that moving through this portal, this new world, is going to embody, it's going to be a completely new experience for you. That's, first of all, what I'm absolutely feeling. But aside from that, it's going to make you feel stable in a way that still, right, again, allows you to even exert your sense of personal identity in some kind of new way, in a way that is also very creative, right? So this may be a person that you're entering this world with, or it can be sort of a creative direction, right, that you take as you move forward into this new beginning, right? So it's interesting because there's a dynamism to it. It's very dynamic, right? And yet it's stable, right? It's kind of like, I know that where I'm going is going to allow me greater creative reign, and to live more freely and dynamically and spontaneously, perhaps, right? More colorfully, in a way that speaks to my soul, right? In a way that allows me to be myself. But I'm going to be able to do all of that, right, in this new world and feel stable, because something about this, right, something about this either new environment or this situation is inherently, it's stable. It's almost like the formation of something, like a partnership or a construct or something that allows you to embody yet again, right, stability and independence, expression, dynamism, if that makes sense, Taurus, okay? We'll get more to that. But you then have the High Priestess in reverse, overlaying the Mother of Swords in reverse, Three of Pentacles upright, Father of Wands in reverse, okay? So two characters showing up here. I feel that neither one of them are you. Mother of Swords in reverse, Father of Wands in reverse. Sandwiching the Three of Pentacles upright. So, this new beginning, and I'm feeling this is like a perception of it, is attached to something tangible, right? It could be a home. It could be some physical sort of parameter, right, of space that, or even matter that houses, in a way, this new beginning. That puts a like a boundary to it, but in such a way that's not limiting, right? Again, the irony of this card and of this card. So, nonetheless, right, there's a materialism that's associated with this new beginning, and it can be in the form of a home. I'm feeling home, and two people could be associated with the implementation of this, or the bringing about of this, the enabling. This could be even like a financial contribution, right, from these two people who are helping bring this new beginning with stability, the stability of it into form. If that does make sense, Taurus, for you. It's because the Three of Pentacles is absolutely associated, I'm feeling, with the Three of Wands. But there's a physical, monetary, tangible component to it, right, that's needed, I'm feeling, to make this truly, like, scalable or able to subsist into the long term. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles, right, again, surrounded by the Father of Wands and the Mother of Swords. These are two very different characters, right? Very different elements, different temperaments, right? One maybe more masculine, one maybe more feminine. They don't have to be, right, according to these genders, right? Everybody has a masculine and feminine side, and anything else. So when we look at them upright, they speak to one, right, Mother of Swords, a character who's rather driven intellectually as to how she makes decisions, or how he or any gender makes decisions, right? The Father of Wands, though, is more creatively driven, right? More dynamically driven, more of a risk taker, even, right? Where the Mother of Swords reasons, right, through any matter at hand, the Father of Wands somehow enables per his vision, right? Because fire can be a very desirous energy. If fire, right? Fire grows wild, especially if not tempered. And the Father of Wands is in reverse, and the Mother of Swords is in reverse as well. So it's almost like both of these energies, right, are in such a way where they're not entirely compliant with each other, right? They have different perspectives, different viewpoints, different ways of going about, right, establishing this foundation, perhaps. And the Father of Wands, like I said, more of a risk taker, okay? More of a risk taker. Whereas the Mother of Swords could be a little more conservative, right? More calculative. The Father of Wands, I'm feeling, see, it's interesting because the Father of Wands, right, is of the same element as this Three of Wands. So whatever aspect this is that is associated with this new forming of a foundation, right? The Father of Wands is especially partial to, right? The Father of Wands really supports it, can see the vision for it, right? And wants, right? Wants to get the process underway and going. But the Mother of Swords is a little bit of a thorn in your side kind of feeling, right? Because she's wedged in between all of this otherwise very enchanting, otherworldly, exciting energy, right? Lively, creative. And this can, again, this could be your own propensity, right? To embody a certain element. But I am feeling it's a person, okay, or people. Nonetheless. The Mother of Swords seems apprehensive about whatever this beginning is, right? And seems to want to move cautiously into it, right? Because she's right before the Three of Wands, so she's almost thinking, how is this going to happen even, right? She's trying to rationalize how it's going to happen, and she may not fully support it, is what I'm feeling. And so these two characters are somehow not working together, not cooperating when it comes to trying to set and establish this foundation. And I'm feeling it again. It's because the Mother of Swords does not grasp the vision of this new beginning, the one that is absolutely more creative and artistic and sensitive and driven by desire, dreams, right? Inner will, speaking to the Strength card, fire. And with them both in reverse, it's kind of like because they're not seeing eye to eye, and because their perceptions are so different, they're not able to. It's like the entering through this phase and world is at the mercy of the cooperation of these two characters, these two energies, right? The intellectual, rational mind and that which actually takes action, right, is able to see the vision through for what they want to create. So there's some sort of standstill of energy. That needs to be met between them. Now, the High Priestess is basically the theme sort of that spread, that mini spread. And she's in reverse. Okay. And the High Priestess is looking over at everything that's going on here. Before I get to this, though, I want to get into the rest of the energies, okay? There's a lot going on. I'm feeling this involves, whatever this transformation is, it involves many different parties, many different people, many different viewpoints even, perhaps, right? It's almost like you need to get through loopholes, right? Certain loopholes. You need to go through certain people. You need to get the cooperation and collaboration of certain parties together as one in order to make this wheel turn, right? That's kind of what I'm feeling. So, again, feeling of being at the mercy of a situation, of the natural timing of a situation, okay, and the circumstance, absolutely circumstance. So, off in the bottom right-hand corner, out popped these 4 cards. The 3 of Swords in reverse, 8 of Swords upright, Son of Swords in reverse, and the Father of Pentacles. Now, Taurus. I'm sensing that here. There is a situation. This could be with coworkers. This can be with, I'm feeling it's associated with whatever this old world is that you're transforming from and that you're leaving. There could be, right, a rather, again, uncooperative sort of junction or partnership, right, where not everybody is seeing eye to eye, and yet you all have to cooperate with each other. You can't just leave the situation, right? It's like these 3 swords, they're tied together. They have to kind of cooperate. They're forced to cooperate, but they just don't see eye to eye. It's kind of the same feeling that I'm getting here with the Mother of Swords and the Father of Wands, right? It's like they are obligated. They need to work together in order to bring this about, to substantiate this new beginning in some way, materially or otherwise, but they're not, they're just really different in terms of their perception. And so there's been standstill. There's been standstill in terms of a decision, right, that needs to be made in terms of this new beginning. But you have the 8 of Swords in reverse, so I'm feeling, right, that you're like ready. You're ready to leave behind this whole process of ascent, right? Of release, of completion, of bringing the process full circle. And this could be legal. This absolutely could be legal. And I remember that this theme came up for you, Taurus, perhaps in your last reading. The Son of Swords in reverse, right? I feel that you're waiting on legal or the decisive clarity, right, that maybe one person or one party brings forward, or it could be your own, right? You're waiting, right, for that answer, for that clarity. You're waiting for clarity so that you can rise, right? It's like, it's impending. I'm feeling this is still impending, but you're ready. You're like, I'm ready. I'm waiting. Like, come on, guys, what's the answer? Like, that's what I'm feeling. All right? And then the Father of Pentacles is, right,
at the very end, looking off into the future. The Son of Swords is in reverse, kind of flying right into the Father of Pentacles. Father of Pentacles can be you. It can be you. But I'm feeling it's another person, Taurus. Okay, I am feeling it's another person. And maybe the Son of Swords, if this is a person or a lawyer or whatever it may be, who needs to deliver this clarity, right, that will help resolve this sort of situation that you've been involved in and bring harmony to it, must first bypass the Father of Pentacles, right? Almost like I need to run it by the Father of Pentacles before I can give you an answer. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting with these two characters. So the Father of Pentacles is maybe kind of a hard to reach or approach sort of energy as well, right? Father of Pentacles is not even looking at the situation. Maybe the Father of Pentacles is not even aware fully of the situation, right? But I'm feeling that it's tied to finances, absolutely, because the Father of Pentacles is sort of the pinnacle of, it's like that old money feeling, right? It's like, I get a feeling of like the bank, right? He's kind of like, he represents the absolute expression, the height of career and success. So it's almost like you're waiting on someone and waiting on another person who's waiting on another person to wait on another person. It's procedural. It's procedural, and absolutely Taurus, right? That's what this theme, all of this card really speaks to, is that, right? Needing to wait. Oh, I know, I just need strength, I just need to focus. Keep my vision strong, right? That's what I focus on. Focus on the vision, right? Even though a lot is going on around you or in you, right, internally, this can be internal energy as well, but I'm feeling it, again, engaging multiple parties. So there's some sort of standstill on this end, right, where a consensus needs to be made by way of this individual. Okay. Now, the theme is the Six of Swords in reverse, overlaying the Lovers. So I'm feeling that. I'm feeling you are ready to leave this situation that seems to be, again, entangled, a mess. Okay, it's kind of messy, and it involves many people, many different opinions, and it's just not, you're done with it. You're ready to transform. Okay, you're ready to make the change happen. And again, respiration. Respiration, right, awaits. Flying off into the rainbow. Look at this rainbow. Flying off into the world, right, that awaits you. And it could be with another person. It could be with another person who again, right, perhaps it's the Son of Cups, who's associated with the Three of Wands, new beginning, who's entering this world with you. But it's almost like, right, they're at the mercy of this situation, the transformation of the situation, right, the doing away with this. Mental anxiety, right, in a way. It's like this. It's like you, let's say you want to move forward with like a creative project, but you have to go through all of the bureaucracy, right, of, oh, what about the legal side, and what about the fine-tuned nitty-gritty, right? That's the feeling I'm getting with all these swords. It's like, oh, we just want to fly free, we just want to transform, right? Follow our vision. But you're at the mercy, right, of this situation, the transformation of this, okay? Priestess, let's go back here. High Priestess overlaying this mini deck here that we have is in reverse. The High Priestess is the most intuitive card in the deck. Speaking to, right, an absolute resounding faith, confidence, right, that's derived from the High Priestess's inner knowing. Sorry, guys. Bandage. Sorry, Taurus. From a resounding knowing, right, that is derived from their intuition, right? Not from what they intellectually know, but from what they understand on a very deep soul level. It speaks to faith, absolutely, right? That which we see with the Strength card. And so this can be speaking to your. It's almost like in the midst of all of this that's happening and going on over here, right? All this sort of drama, all the nitty-gritty, having to get the oars in order, getting people to cooperate and see eye to eye, you're like over here, like, this is like your perception of the situation, right? And I sense that you're feeling, like from afar, you're like, I need to just maintain faith in it. Maintain strength in it. Remember the vision. Remember the vision. The Strength card, the lion on it has a figure 8 on its forehead, right? The third eye chakra area. Intuition, being driven forward by intuition, deriving strength from intuition and personal truth. So the High Priestess in reverse is like not actively. It's almost like you're not actively engaged. You can't contribute yourself to the situation. You can't personally change it. You're at the mercy of these energies working in harmony together. So from afar, right, you're like, I need to just remain faithful and hopeful, even though I can't actively, right, engage in the situation in some shape or form. Okay. So there's a feeling of not being able to rush the process, absolutely. But maintain that faith, Taurus. Right? You guys are an incredibly resilient sign. Incredibly resilient. Earth sign, Taurus, fixed. So, right? It's maintaining that vision. And this is a beautiful time to do that, right? Beautiful time to align, right? Meditate. Align with really your intuition, yes, one, but also the reason, right? The reason for why you're doing this whole thing. The reason for why you're making this big change, right? Aligning, right, with that. In such a way, right, that gives you the strength, right? That enables you to handle and to deal with the more challenging aspects of the process that inherently are necessary, right, in order to make movement forward. All right, so it's lovely to see that you pulled Strength. Absolutely, it was like the pinnacle of your reading. So I feel very much strong, right, and confident in how you are proceeding through the whole process. So thank you so much again, Taurus. I hope this reading was helpful for you guys. I will be back with a mid-March reading. Time is flying, guys. Really it is. So it's going to come up pretty soon, sometime next week. And yeah, stay tuned for that. Otherwise, check out your rising, ascendant, or moon sign, as oftentimes those can provide further insights. I resonate a lot with my moon, so feel free to check that out. You do need your exact birth time, though, so just pay mind to that. If you don't know your signs, you can click click the link below in the description box that I provide, and just enter in your details and play around with it there. All right? Have a wonderful new moon, Taurus, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.